Okay, guys, so your girl has been conflicted. I have been feeling very conflicted with myself for probably about 2 months now. Not four, but two. 2 months now. And I finally realized what's wrong. Okay, I got to the root of the problem. And I came on here because I don't want to be one of those people who is only in the teaching position. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be the student as well, because I am a student. I'm a student of life. I'm a student of everything. The only reason I can come on here and speak about what I speak about is because it has been something that I have learned in life, and I know that there's people out there who may be struggling or may have been through the same things I have been, and they need help from that, advice from that, or they just need another perspective. I want to be relatable. I don't want to be one of those people who is always just trying to teach people things and give people advice. I want to be very transparent with you guys, and not only for you guys but for me as well, because I feel like instances like this deserve to be not only on my channel but recorded as well, because I just feel like when you record like lessons you've learned in life, it's kind of like watching a documentary, you know? Like, I want to be able to look back on my own videos and be like, oh my gosh, look how much I've grown, look how much I grew. Like, I really want you guys to see my journey and my growth in life, and not even in life, but just, you know, how I get to where I'm trying to go. Hence why this video's title is Learning to Let Go. I have finally came to the awareness and realization that I struggle with control issues, and not in a way to where it's like harming or affecting other people. Like, it may sometimes, but honestly I feel like it affects me more than it affects anybody externally. Today I finally came to the realization that I have been struggling with control issues, especially when it comes to like my desires, my manifestations, and things of that sort. And I want to be crystal clear with you guys. Like, I don't want to be one of those people who only shows the glamorous things and only shows like me getting what I want and my desires come to me, because it doesn't always work that way. There has been things that I have been actively trying to work towards that I've noticed I have been trying to control the outcome so bad, and I'm forgetting the main part of manifestation and just getting anything is leaving it up to God, leaving it up to the divine, leaving it up to the universe or whatever you believe in. Because I do believe in God. I just don't believe in God in the traditional Christian way. I have my own relationship with God, and I feel that everyone is entitled to their own relationship of what they define God as. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think of God as a man. I think of God as everything. Like, God is an entity to me. God is us, you know? Like, we are a reflection of God, of creation. And we were just sitting here, you know, to humble ourselves and ground ourselves. And I really had to humble myself and ground myself today. Like, I literally laid on my ground on my yoga mat, and I laid there, and I really sat there. I sat there with my hand on my heart and my hand on my womb space, and I really like had to sit there and breathe and remind myself that I am human, and I need to ground myself, and I need to stop trying to control all the outcomes, because at the end of the day I am the operant power. Like I said, I believe in a divine creator that's bigger than us, but we are the co-creators. And I had to remember and to remind myself that I am the co-creator. Okay, all I have to do is simply put it out there and believe it, and I have to trust in God, trust in the divine to deliver the rest. All you have to do is your part. Okay, whatever that is. And it could be a small thing. Like, the book Atomic Habits is so helpful because it talks about like the snowball effect. Like, it doesn't matter if you do something for even just 5 minutes a day, something proactive towards whatever goal you're working towards. Those 5 minutes are going to add up for 365 days. So you're going to get farther than someone who just, you know, does it every once in a while. Like, even just 5 tiny minutes a day working towards your goals is going to get you to where you're going. And I really had to remember that. And again, I had to ground myself, y'all. I was literally laying on the ground, like shedding tears, breaking down. Honestly, it's like I had to face God, I had to face myself, and I had to really humble and ground myself, because I had to remember that I can't control people, I can't control outcomes, and I can't control things. Like, yes, I can work towards those things and I can believe in those things, but I cannot make them come into fruition. You know, I have to give that up to the divine. So anybody hearing this, No matter what you want in life, it is possible to manifest. I'm not saying that we don't have the power to manifest, but I do want you to remember that, like, there's something bigger than us that actually makes these things happen. And you have to remember to give up that control. Like, just give it up. Give it up. Sometimes you do have to give it up to God and trust in the divine. I don't know if my YouTube knows this, but a few years ago, I would say in 2023, I ended up winning $25,000. And I remember a few days after I got the call that I won that much money. I actually won $50,000, but I ended up taking home $25,000 because, you know, it was like a lawyer thing. So lawyer fees came out. So I ended up coming home with $25,000. And I'll never forget how grounded and humble I felt. Like, I literally have a video on my phone of me crying and just being so grateful and having so much gratitude for even just being able to breathe and even having the opportunity and the chance for that to happen, you know, because I had to remember that, like, there is something beyond me that I don't understand, I can't comprehend, and I cannot see. And I have to remember to trust in that. Like, that is not a bad thing. That's an amazing thing, because we're not supposed to understand. Like, that's why we came down into this human form, so that we can be flesh. Like, I will say, I agree with the Christians when it comes to, like, the desires of the flesh and being flesh, because it is true. Like, I think we forget that, you know, we really are like goddesses. We really are like walking reflections of God. And we have to remember that, like, we submitted ourselves to this flesh experience so that we can experience life. And we are literally like the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to think about. We're literally stars, atoms, electrons, whatever else. And we were perfect. You know, we were perfectly in the universe. Like, we are the universe as an embodiment, but before we were born, we were just everything. Like, we were a part of God. Then it got to a point where we got so tired of being everything that we wanted to be something, and we chose to come down in this flesh. You know, that's what I believe in. Like, I believe that we started off as like stars. We started off as God, as the universe, like a part of God. And then something in us wanted more, you know, like in the Bible, it literally tells about that, like the story of Adam and Eve. I believe that the Bible is just like metaphorical. You know, I don't believe in it exactly as it is. I take it as like any other book, but I believe that it is a beautiful and amazing depiction of what it is to be human. And it also is a very good book on moral compasses, and there is a lot of truth in the Bible, because like I said, it's like a moral compass. Like, I don't think it was ever meant to be taken literal. That's just my opinion. I'm not here to offend anybody or spread any hate. Like, if anything, I'm trying to spread love, but that's just really how I genuinely feel in my soul. Like, I feel like we weren't supposed to take it and use it as something to separate each other. I believe we were supposed to take it and use it just like any other book. Like, you use it as a tool for your life. And that's why the Bible was created. But anywho, enough of that talk, because that's like kind of controversial. I don't want to be a controversial person, but I had to really remember that at the end of the day, I chose to be this flesh, and I have to trust in the process of that. You know, like, none of us asked to be born, but at the same time, we kind of did. Like, there was something in our spirit that chose our body, chose our parents, chose to live and be here. Okay, so I would say since that day that I won that money, and since the day that I had a near-death experience, because I did have that. If you guys want a story time on that, let me know, because I forget that that happened, and it was actually insane, but it did happen, and it is a part of my life and a part of my journey. And those 2 times, I feel like I truly was eye to eye with God, and I was like understanding. It's so easy to get caught up in this world and in this reality that we forget the basic things. Like, I had to remind myself that I can't judge myself for yesterday, and I can't judge myself for my past, and I shouldn't do that to other people as well, you know. And that really made me cry, because I felt like I was very judgmental of myself, and I had to face that. But I know that in order to get to the next level in life, that is something that I have to face. Like, I have to let go of judgment. I have to let go of fear. I have to let go of guilt, and I have to let go of shame, because these are things that are so easy to hold on to, especially in this flesh. But remember that we are not flesh. We are just the freaking universe, gods, goddesses, whatever you want to call us, who decided to come down and be in this flesh. Literally came here to do what the flesh desires. And it's easy to get caught up in that. It's easy to get caught up in this external 3D world. And I had to remember to acknowledge and appreciate the spiritual world as well. That's basically what I've been trying to say. But yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. But I'm trying my best. Yeah, this is something that is just very vulnerable. I'm trying my hardest not to cry because it's just, like, I could feel it in my soul, y'all. Like, I really felt so bad. I just realized that I do hold a lot of guilt and a lot of fear and a lot of control and a lot of shame. And I know that I need to let that go to get to that next level. And I know that it's going to happen either way. Like, there has been times, literally, like when I won $25,000, the unbelievable has happened to me. And I had to realize that things like that only happen and you just let go. Like, it honestly took me 2 years to get that money too, y'all. Like, I was waiting for that money for 2 years. And when I started thinking about that, I was like, dang, I had to physically, mentally, and spiritually just let go and give it to God. Like, there has been so many times where I have felt enlightened and I have felt, one with the divine. And I love that feeling. Like, I feel like we're supposed to be like that all the time. But again, it's so easy to get caught in this flesh, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. That is very okay. But I know that I ask for forgiveness and to keep that awareness day after day. And it's okay if you do get lost and you get caught up in the flesh again. Like, it's okay. That's the whole point of being human. I feel like at times we need to be grounded and we need to be humbled because, again, it's so easy to get so caught up in the 3D and the external world that we abandon what it actually means to be human. And that is for connection, that is for love, and that is for enlightenment. That is the whole point. And yeah, I feel like I was so stuck trying to control the outcome and trying to control the how, the when, the who, the where, the what, the why, that I lost sight of what life really is about. It's not about controlling. It's about the journey. It's about the experience. I'm telling you, now that I let go, I can feel myself evolving, going up, like vibrating high. I can literally hear ringing in my ears right now, and that's how I know I'm vibrating high. And what I want is coming. Like, I had to really trust in that. I would say out loud, I trust in this, and oh, I'm gonna get this. But there was a part of me that really did not believe that. And that's why I was trying so hard for it. So you got to learn to let go. Let it go, okay? Let it go. Because honestly, the day that you let it go, it will come. Or signs that is coming will come. Again, there has been so many times in my life where I felt one with the universe, one with God. Honestly, I felt like that whenever I would do mushrooms or acid, because I did used to do psychedelics. And not that I'm recommending them to anyone out there, but not gonna lie, mushrooms, 10 out of 10. For me, it's always like a spiritual journey and a spiritual lesson, because I don't go out and buy them. I always say, like, if it's meant to be, and if I'm meant to do mushrooms in my life right now, they will come to me. Guess what? 2 weeks ago, I started saying that. Like, something just came to me. It just came to me like, I need to do mushrooms. Like, I really need to unlock my next level of thought. And I wouldn't even think about it hard, y'all. And this is how I know. I had to remember, like, when you try to force things, it's not gonna come. Like, you're blocking it by trying to force it. I didn't care about the mushrooms that much. I was just thinking about it. I was like, if it comes, it'll come. Okay? It's not that big of a deal. Guess what, y'all? Literally the same week, my sister came in my room and put a mushroom on my dresser. I swear to God. And she doesn't even do mushrooms like that. I haven't seen a mushroom in so long. And she just put it on my dresser. She said, hey, somebody gave me some mushrooms. I got one for you. It was crazy. And in that moment, I was like, light freaking bulb. I remembered. Like, the less you care about something, or the quicker it will come. So let it go. I do want to read something that I wrote down when I was having like my grounding session earlier, because I've just been wanting to honor my spirit, my ancestors, and my divine feminine power, because I really feel like I have to call back my power and believe in myself and believe in the divine's delivery, and delivery system. But I want to read this for anyone who needs to hear this. This is what I wrote earlier. One side is about learning, because I had to come to a conclusion. And then the next is about releasing, because there was just so much built up and pent up in me. I just needed to release it. Because I know, I just know. How you know something is coming? Like, I could feel what I want coming. It's like I'm magnetic again, Once you let go, you will become so magnetic. Whatever you want will have no choice but to come to you. And I have learned that and realized that time and time again. But again, it's just so easy to forget. And I don't know why. I do know why. But it's hard to admit that to yourself. And I've had to admit that to myself. And it really hit today. So now I'm going to read what I wrote in my journal today. For anyone who needs to hear this. I have a really hard time speaking up for myself and how I feel, just because of trauma and things in my life. So I am learning how to speak up for myself, even if it feels uncomfortable. Okay? Do not hold it in and try to internalize the problem. Don't make the problem about you. Let it out. Hard conversations lead to resolution. From now on, I am going to honor myself and my feelings. I will speak up earlier, even when it feels hard or small. I will trust that conflict doesn't automatically mean loss, and I will not abandon myself to keep things smooth. Stand up for yourself, have boundaries and standards for yourself. You are a goddess, you are divine. Have a backbone for yourself. Do not get caught up in la la land. Face reality and trust your feelings. Honor them. Nothing scary happens when you are honest. It is okay to have standards and emotions and boundaries. I am valid. My feelings are valid. My emotions are valid. My intuition is valid. And my thoughts are valid. Love does not require self-abandonment. I am learning to tolerate the discomfort of honesty. I am letting go of control and outcomes. I am trusting in the path and unfolding of my life. I am releasing judgment, shame, and fear. I'm treating myself and others the same. I will only let the now define them and me. I no longer want to hold the past, even yesterday, against people, because I noticed that I would not only do that to me, but I would do that to others as well. And I no longer want to do that to people. I want to meet people where they're at. Only let the now define them and me, not yesterday, not the past. I release guilt. It is okay to be me, and it is okay for others to be them. Next is releasing. It's actually so funny, because the other day I had a dream that I was looking at my higher self, basically as a goddess. I was literally like a goddess. It was so insane. And I don't remember if it was an actual goddess, but honestly what I felt like it was my higher self. So you had me as a goddess and then me as my higher self. And I was doing a ritual for myself. I was kind of in my mirror, and I was doing a ritual facing myself, my higher self, aka this goddess who's also me. And I was doing a ritual for her and to honor her, and to basically become her. She was giving me the steps and showing me how I can become her and how I can honor her and just strive to be her. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a dream me. I have a dream version of me. I just know that there's a higher version of me and I want to become her. So in my dream, it was kind of showing me that. I had rose petals, a beautiful candle, and all this other stuff. And I was literally honoring my higher self, and I was facing her. And she was just telling me all the things that I need to do and the things in my mind that I need to switch. And I really took that as confirmation for what I have learned over the past few days, and especially today. Because today, it finally hit me what little things that I need to tweak, what thoughts that I need to get rid of or create anew to get closer to the inner goddess that I want to become. I seen that as confirmation because you don't dream about stuff like that every day. Like, there's a difference between just dreaming and like lucid dreaming, being aware, being in the dream, and remembering the dream. Like, me personally, if I remember something like that, I know that it's a sign from the divine. So I took that and I ran with it, because I've had a second dream I've had in the past few weeks where I was looking at a higher version of me in a mirror, because I know that she's real and I know that she's here, but there's just a few little tweaks that I have to make in my mind, and there's some beliefs that I need to let go of in order to get to the next level. It was so weird. Like, everything is so divine, and I feel like this is how I know that I'm going in the right direction. But isn't that just so weird? Every time I've had something crazy happen, again, for example, like winning that money, I would feel so connected to the divine. Like, I would be seeing synchronicities all day. I would be having dreams. I would be in nature, like getting downloads. I would just be getting downloads. I would be seeing success in certain things. Like, it's like I go through periods in my life where I'm really just spiritually connected and enlightened. That's what I feel I'm doing right now. Like, I know when I'm going through so much and having to face trauma and all these things, that it's not doing anything but getting me to the next level. So I just can't wait to share my journey, and I can't wait to see my journey to people, because it's crazy. I have always knew and always felt that my life was just divine. Everyone's is, of course, but I've always had a really natural connection to the divine, and that's actually why I got indigo tatted on my chest. I get so many questions about this tattoo. Actually, people are always like, what does that mean? And the whole reason I got this tattoo was just because something told me to get it. Like, since a very young age, I've just always felt out of place in the world. And again, I've always had a very strong connection with the spiritual side of things, and I've always been like mentally independent from the world, you know, like I was always the black sheep, I guess you could call it. And so from a very young age, I always felt like left out and weird, and just, I don't know, I was just always my own person, and it was very hard for me to fit in, especially with other kids. Like, adults would call me an old soul and all this other stuff. So I just always knew that there was something in me that just was a little out of the norm. I'm not saying this to be full of myself. I'm just saying this because I actually know it, and I have been shown it and proved it time and time again. Speaking from experience, y'all, I literally had freaking near-death experience in seeing visions and stuff. Like, girl, the things I have seen on psychedelics and all type of stuff, like, I have felt one with the universe so many times, and I would wonder, like, what is this? Like, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? And so I started researching indigo children, and I felt at place with that and at peace with that, because I felt like that is a category I could relate to. Like, I don't know, y'all will have to look it up yourself what indigo children are, but as soon as I heard about indigo children, I felt like I was in that, you know, like I felt in my soul that that was my whole point. Like, I'm a leader, you know, I think for myself, I'm a free thinker, and, you know, I'm connected with the divine spiritually. I have good intuition, I have prophetic dreams, I lucid dream, like I do all these things, and I've just always had a really strong connection with the divine from a very young age. So yeah, I just felt like an indigo child resonated with me a lot, so that's why I got it tattooed, for you guys wondering. And also, in my future, I want to name my daughter Indigo. I could search up what an indigo child is, but I just always felt that was what I could put myself under, because I didn't have any other explanation for why I was the way I was, you know. So as soon as I heard of an indigo child, I was like, yeah, I'm standing by that. And I'm getting it tatted on me because I want to own it, like indigo. I've always wanted a chest tattoo anyways, and I also just got this butterfly on a whim. And it's funny because even all my tattoos have a spiritual meaning. Like, I just explained that one, but literally every single tattoo I have means a lot to me. and has a very deep meaning to me, especially spiritually. Like, all my tattoos are like chapters in my life, you know? For example, this one that I have on my ankle, let me show y'all. I got this because I feel like it looks like me. As a child, I literally looked like that. I had really short hair. And second of all, I'm a Gemini, so you know, I could resonate with having two heads, because you know, they say we have two sides when really we have multiple personalities. But anywho, and I also felt like it's the perfect definition of not only being a Gemini, but I feel like it works with introspection. Because again, since a very young age, I have always asked questions that nobody else was asking, and I've always just knew that there was a deeper meaning of this life, and I've always been connected with that. So I got this tattoo to represent that. That's why I got that tattoo. And also, I actually designed this tattoo on freaking Canva in like 5 minutes, not even. It was crazy. And then I went and got it like the next day, I think. This video is kind of just like a chit chat video. I talked about a lot of different topics and a lot of different things because I really want you guys to get to know me a little more. I've been talking for almost 40 minutes now. If you guys want to learn more about me, I'm down to do a Q&A or anything of the sort. Just let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's a little bit about me, what I've been going through recently, and a little bit inside of my head. So hopefully you enjoyed. I love you. Bye.